another episode of Get a Load of This. From the Silver Creek Studios, I'm Jarod.
I am Ryan.
And I just started a bum fight club.
Those are always fun.
They are.
Yeah.
Is that a business opportunity or is that charity?
It could turn into...
You looking for investors?
Yeah, I'm going to have a meeting. First rule of bum fight club is...
Don't tell the bums.
Can I stay at your house?
Right.
Can I eat that?
Yeah.
You're going to eat that?
That's funny. I recently
That's funny.
called my child a hobo. Did I tell you guys
Which
about
one?
The oldest one, the dumbass.
Okay.
The super smart dumbass.
I could see it being the middle one.
No. He's... My child traveled recently.
Right.
He lost his debit card before he traveled. So a few weeks before, he loses his debit card. And he doesn't tell me about it because he knows I'm going to call him a dumbass, which I did. And so I get a notification that he changed the address on his bank account. I call him, why are you changing your address? That's stupid. You're moving out of that dorm. You're going to have to change your address again in like 2 months. That's dumb. Why would you change your address? He goes, I didn't think you'd know. He goes, I needed to get a debit card sent to me here.
I didn't think you'd know.
And they had to change my address on the account in order to send me a debit card. And I was like, all right, well, you probably could have just had it sent here, and I could have overnighted it to you. I could have got it to you, but whatever. You're trying to play all sneaky because you didn't want me to call you a dumbass because you lost your debit card. I'm not going to ask how you lost it. Don't. I think I know. Not worried about it. It's in a G-string somewhere or something, or it's in a cash drawer at some bar that he forgot about it.
Right.
So
it's in a G-string.
So he says, it's on the way. It's on the way. So it comes. He's supposed to travel. He's going to Boulder, and he says, I need to get a ride to the airport. And I said, well, this is on you, buddy. I mean, he's got my Uber account. I said, but no. You're not using that shit. This is your gimmick. I told you not to go. You should be. So you use your money. So he says, okay. Well, and then time gets closer and closer and closer. And it was going to cost like $100 to take an Uber because he was leaving the day after Mardi Gras in New Orleans. And he goes, well, I don't want to take an Uber. I said, well, open a Lyft account. He goes, well, I can't because I don't have a debit card. So I'm like, well, sounds like you're up shit creek, buddy.
Yeah. Start walking.
So Dad, opens up a Lyft account for him with my card. And $30 gets him to the airport. I was going to
say, would that be any different than Uber? Why?
I don't know. Probably because lower demand. Uber's maybe more in demand. I have no idea, but it was only $30, 33 something. So get the boy what he needs. He says, don't worry. Before I leave, my debit card will be here. I said, okay. So dumbass wakes up, 3 o'clock. Uber shows up, 3 a.m. Uber shows up. Lyft, yeah, sorry. That's why Uber charges more because
you just think of the name. Yep.
So takes his dumb ass to the airport, and he gets on a plane, and he flies to Denver, and then he lands, and he calls me, and he says, I think I have a problem. I said, well, what's up? Actually, he called me before that. Right when he landed, he's like, I'm here. I left early. I didn't talk to you. I just want to let you know I landed safely. I'm like, all right, great. Let me know when you get to Boulder. So very briefly after that, he calls me and says, I got a problem. Oh, let me back up. I said, you don't have any money. You don't have this. And he tells me, he's like, no, it's okay though. She's going to take care of me and I'll pay her back.
Geez.
He goes, hold on. This is the best part. He goes, I'm 5 steps ahead of you, Dad. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you
5 steps ahead of you. I said, how are you going to get to Boulder? And he goes, well, there's a bus. It's a rapid transport of Denver, RTD.
Yeah.
There's a bus, and it's free. I said, I doubt it's free.
There's not a fucking thing out there that's free.
He goes, no, I looked it up. I'm 5 steps ahead of you. All right, buddy. Good luck. Have fun. Let me know when you get to her joint. Then he calls me back. Got a problem. I said, what's the problem? He goes, well, I need $3 to get on the bus. I'm like, well, get $3 out of your wallet. I don't have any cash. I said, you don't have a debit card? No, I don't have a debit card.
Why didn't you go to the fucking bank?
Doesn't have a debit card?
Doesn't have a card.
Doesn't have a check?
Why didn't you go to the bank?
Well, his bank is home here. He doesn't have a bank down there.
So what? The ATM?
He uses.
But he
doesn't have a debit card.
God.
Doesn't have a debit card. All he has is a Venmo card with no fucking money in it, right? So
5 steps.
How do you go on a trip without a debit card and no cash?
No cash. He traveled halfway across the country.
Wait a minute. I thought he said by the time he left, his debit card would be there.
It didn't make it. It was there when he got back. Oh, which is great. Of course. It's fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
So I proceed to just chew his ass and call him the dumbest son of a bitch. I was like, I have failed as a father. How do you travel halfway across the country with not a nickel to your name,
in the wrong direction,
with no means of getting yourself anywhere, with no means of feeding yourself, with all you have
is a charged phone.
Yeah, is an iPhone and a bad attitude that's going to get you through the rest of this journey.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God you got the iPhone so you can call your fucking dad that you're 5 steps ahead of there, genius. So I said, all right, well, so how do you buy a ticket for this fucking bus? And he goes, well, it's just $3. I'm like, well, $3 you don't fucking have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
might as well be $1 million, right?
I said, well, try to swipe your Venmo card, see if that fucking works. And he ain't gonna work. There's no money in it. All right, well, so what else? He goes, well, there's an app for this rapid public transit. I said, well, get it going. Give him my debit card. And he buys a $3.50 ticket because it wasn't free. It's $3.50. So he buys a $3.50 ticket. I'm still on the phone with him. He goes to get on the bus. The bus driver's like, what do you got there, son? He shows him his phone, shows a $3.50 credit. He goes, you're going to need $7 more.
What?
So kicks him off the fucking bus because he's not going in the Denver metropolitan area. He's going to fucking Boulder.
Right.
It's not a short trip. And so I'm still on the phone. He goes, oh, I need to do it again. I need $7 more. I'm like, just do it. Do it. Just hit the button. Buy more. Get on the bus. Make sure your bag's on the bus. Sit your ass down. Bask in your stupidity, and then go have fun. And then figure out how the hell you're going to get home. Because so anyway, he had no money. I ended up sending him Venmo. I sent him some money, and this is enough of an ass chewing. He's going to listen, and he's like, I can't believe you talked about that. But look, I've done stupid things.
I've never done anything that fucking stupid.
That's way the hell up there. He's a smart kid.
What did he think he was going to do? What he thought nothing was going to cost anything, and his girlfriend would take care of everything.
Well,
she should. You know what should have happened, Dad? Your girl meets you in Denver. It sounds like to me.
Yeah, right.
Tell her your problem.
Find a car. Yeah,
because honestly, just a few years ago, before all these apps and bullshit, you wouldn't have had a way to send him any money or anything.
Think about it if it was 1990.
Right.
You know what? Number one, you'd never do that. No one.
Right.
I mean, you would
That's
always.
True.
You would have.
He would have had cash.
Yeah.
Or check.
Look, I went to Panama City with 4 or 5 assholes. That's how long ago it was. But 1995, Panama City for spring break, and I had a credit card. We all had cash, right? We all had we had a big wad of cash. This is our spring break money. We're going down there. We're going to party. We're going to have a great time.
Buy T-shirts.
By day 3, everybody's broke.
Right.
We're there for 6 days. Day 3, broke. I mean, everybody's like, well, what are we going to do now? I'm like, well, motherfuckers better scrape together some damn money.
Yeah.
So we make it through. I think we left a day early. We make it through day 5. The last couple of days were lackluster at best. And we drove 2 separate cars, and we had to drive back. One of them was a Chevy Cavalier with a blown airbag. The whole way I drove, with the airbag hanging
in your lap.
It was actually quite entertaining because everybody was sleeping.
Turn.
Well, it's fun to turn, and whenever you're driving, if you're driving on straightaway, you can take it out and you stuff the bag back in. You just keep fucking with it while you're driving. It made time go by, but it was a piece of shit car. And the other one was a Nissan pickup. But again, nobody had any money. I was the only one with a credit card. The only one ever getting home is me. Those motherfuckers still owe me money. I mean, I bugged them about it while we were still at college, but at some point you realize, like, all right, well, it cost me $150 to get those guys out of my life. It's all good.
Or you could have said, fuck every last one of you.
I'm going to get a bus ticket.
I can get a bus ticket. I can get a fucking plane ticket with what I got.
Yeah.
And I'll go back home and see you there.
Yeah, you guys have fun.
You guys are going to suck your way back to fucking school.
So I wasn't the stupid one in that equation, but I had a bunch of stupid buddies that weren't prepared for their life either, or for that trip either. So I give them a little bit of a give on that, but it was pretty stupid. And if it wasn't for modern technology, he'd have been completely and utterly screwed. And so he knows he's a dumbass. And the best,
I don't know. I think I think I'm going to hear another one of these stories.
Yeah, maybe. I hope not.
I mean, hell, I might. He's going to be home. Yeah, and I might even see one.
Right. I hope not.
Hopefully, I'm not a part of one. That's the fuck thing. Yeah. I've already
you
been
were all
put,
we kind of were a part of one.
I got put into the trick bag already by this boy once.
Driven home by a permitted driver because of his dumb ass one night.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Fool me once.
Maybe we should stop hanging out with that guy.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again.
I can't wait to have him on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'd like to hear him defend himself on this one. There is no defensiveness.
There is no defense. You're fucked.
But the best part of it was, 5 steps ahead of you, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then the call.
I need $3.
The call minutes later, and I threw it right 5 steps ahead, huh? Uh-huh. Shut up. Just help me out. Help me get through this.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine, not your son or whatever, going on a trip across the country with not a dime in my wallet.
I'd be a nervous wreck.
Not a card in my wallet.
I think that just
hoping you can get wherever you want to go.
I don't like leaving the house.
No, I mean,
it honestly
on.
probably happens more than we think with the youths of America, that they think that everything's digital. You don't need currency. If I got everything on my phone, I don't even need. What do I need?
I mean, I honestly I don't carry cash hardly ever because I just pay everything with debit card.
Right.
But
yeah,
so I get that part of it. But when you don't have your debit card,
you
screwed. Don't go on a cross-country trip.
And it's getting to the point where there's a guy at work. We had the cafe where you go get your lunch or whatever. They have the new equipment. A lot of every gas station, grocery stores have it. The NFC, the near field communication, the Apple Pay or Google Pay or whatever. And he uses.
What'd you call it?
Apple Pay, near field communication.
Yeah,
it's
NFC.
It basically it's in your cards too. Yeah, just. So he uses his smartwatch to pay for his lunch, and he's been in front of me in line a couple times.
Does he do it like a superhero?
Every time he does a cartwheel.
Wonder Woman's that shit.
See, I just can't get on board with that shit. I don't know. I just can't do it. I'm too old school, I guess.
Yeah,
but
it's like our grandparents using a VCR. It's the same thing. I mean, it was just like certain things are unheard of to us.
Yeah, but that VCR didn't empty your bank account when it got leaked to China.
It's true. Very true.
Yeah, it just tore up.
But I think that's where we're getting, where people will walk around just with their phone and their watch, or just with their phone, and that's everything. Your life is in here. It'll be your identification. It'll be your modes of payment. All of your personal information.
Oh, where's your tattoo?
Not sure.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have a tattoo. Just run your tattoo over the thingy there. Fucking kidding me.
Yeah,
that's all right. I hope not, because I'll be fucked. Because I'm not getting on board with that shit. I'm just not. Yeah. I'm just not.
No, it's a scary world to people that aren't comfortable with it, and that they talk about DNA and putting chips in people's arms and employees. I mean, there's companies in China and shit that are doing this stuff. That are, if you're an employee,
yeah, but that country's fucking AI,
right?
So
right, but they're going to
literally
chip everybody.
Having sex with AI. Right. So you have to dismiss that as.
But in order to work at Wing Tower or whatever the fuck it is, software company, you got to have you got to get chipped, and and that's how you get into the building. That's how you get paid. You got to scan your arm or your tattoo, and that's crazy to us, but. Yeah. How far are we from it?
I'm a million miles from it, because
you got all these privacy issues with Amazon and Google devices that are listening all the time. Our phones right now are all listening to what we're saying, listening for keywords, and they're tracking the products that we talk about.
I was telling a story about Mozambique. I may have told you guys a story, but it's not for this time. I'll save it for later. But I was telling a story about Mozambique to a coworker.
Yeah.
The next day, I get an alert on my phone from the Weather Channel about a tsunami or something in Mozambique. Now, why the fuck would I care about anything in Mozambique from the Weather Channel? Why are you telling me this?
Yep.
Other than the fact that you heard me say Mozambique yesterday.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's creepy shit.
Yeah. Your phone definitely listens to you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
See, my phone will do that shit too, but it's after I've looked up something. Like, I was looking up Blues and Cardinals jerseys.
Yep.
Now I get shit from Fanatics all the time. I was looking it up. I've never gotten something like I was just head in my pocket talking, and then some shit show up. But you?
Yeah, it happens, dude. It happens. The other one was that a text conversation. I was talking with the boy about a Keurig. I don't drink coffee. I've never researched coffee makers. I have zero interest. Him and I texted about Keurig. The next day,
he got in a fight with the Keurig.
I did. Kicked my ass, too. Fucking Keurigs are tough.
Open up a fucking whole thing of Dunkin' Donuts on my ass.
No, I go on to Facebook or Instagram, one of the two, and like the second thing was a paid post for Keurig. And I was like, what the fuck?
You should start talking about finding free money.
So we have a buddy of mine, a listener, has been shopping for or waiting to buy one of the new OLED TVs. They're pretty expensive, but they're the best of the best TVs.
What does it stand for? I know it's light emitting diode, but what's the O stand for?
Organic, I think.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
So anyway,
I thought it was orgasmic.
It is.
So
depends on what you're watching,
right? Yeah, but then fuck that. I remember plasmas being $24,000.
Yeah.
So he's been wanting to get one, and but they weren't quite ready yet. But he saw that the newest models come with Alexa built in, and he didn't want that for privacy issues.
Right.
Doesn't want it always listening to what you're saying. So he kind of sped up his time frame and bought last year's model, because it doesn't have that. I mean that it makes sense, but look at that, how it's affecting your purchasing decisions. Because you don't want those privacy issues.
Mark Cuban was just, I just read the story recently, but he was, he's always, everybody listens to him because he's a billionaire, and but he's like, the next great business idea, every great business idea for the forthcoming years is going to revolve around AI, Google Assistant, and Alexa, and Amazon Alexa. And I don't know that he's wrong. I don't think he's wrong. I think there's going to be a lot of great businesses that come out of that technology. But I think that there's a lot of people that are terrified of it. And I have 3 or 4 Alexas in my house, and every once in a while she creeps my ass out. I'm like, what? She'll start talking to me. I'm like, I didn't say your name. And, it's a little, creepy that she is just that those inadvertent ones are just reminders that, that's right. That bitch is listening all the time.
Yep.
Ryan, I'm dressing.
Yeah. But she comes in handy in the morning, whenever, I ask her what the weather's going to be today, and she tells me, and then she says, have a great day. And I'm like, hey, thanks, bitch. You're all right. You're okay.
You're all right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. My phone does that too. My alarm, there's a Google Assistant, thing that kicks off. So when my alarm goes off, it starts off with saying, here's the news for the day. And then it'll read me the news, and then it'll read me the weather. It'll give me a traffic update for my commute. It knows my commute. And then
even when you're not leaving?
Yeah, even when I work from home.
Always a little crowded, boy.
No, it still tells me how to get to work, but it's not that smart. See, it's got room to improve, right? But it tells me all this stuff, but it's very pleasant, and at the end of it, it's
of course it's pleasant.
It's like, have a great day. It's like, you know what?
Thing is gonna, hey motherfucker, get up.
I wouldn't be objected to that, right? I mean, I think
stinking ass, get in the fucking shower. I smell you.
Maybe if it knows that I was up, it's like, hey, I noticed your TV was on until 2:00. You were watching some bullshit on Netflix. Yeah. Get the fuck up, you lazy prick.
I noticed you ain't done shit all day.
Your phone's still plugged in. That means you ain't got out of bed, fucker.
Right. I noticed that you still at the house. Why?
Yeah.
I got shit to do. I got shit to do. I'm gonna fuck with the fish or something. Leave.
Right. The next we just mentioned the secret life of pets, the secret life of our phones. Maybe that's a movie idea for someone out there in Hollywood land.
Which, speaking of movies, we're 20 minutes into this episode.
And, are you wanting to do? You know how long these go?
Yet. We'll go quick.
Oh yeah, but keep talking.
So
I got some work to do.
It's March Madness, and I think by the time this episode comes out, we are going to be deep into the Sweet 16 of the NCAA basketball tournament.
This is true.
So it is time for a Sweet 16 podcast. But we're not going to talk sports. Nobody fucking cares about sports anymore.
Jeez,
unless you listen to a baseball podcast.
We could do an entire episode on the NFL free agency.
Yeah, a lot of shit went down.
A lot.
Yeah. That was crazy.
I'm a Browns fan.
And we should talk about hockey, but Jarod hates hockey. So,
I love how the Blues go from nearly the top seed to the wild card in like a weekend. Everybody panics, and then all of a sudden they're the best team. They're going to win it all.
Well, they're still in they're not the wild card yet, I don't think, are they?
They lost like 4 in a row, and they were like the second wild card or the first wild card.
No, not recently.
I don't think they're in trouble. I think that's maybe the beauty or the curse of hockey is that half the fucking league makes it into the playoffs. So all you need is a chip and a chair, as they say in the poker world. And, they've got both at this point. So,
But like I said, we're not talking sports. We are going to do the Sweet 16 of summer blockbuster movies. So we went back and did days of research on what the top summer blockbusters were. It took
of
us
all time.
I mean, it was countless hours.
I'm just going to go random.
Yeah,
we're not at all prepared for this shit.
Ryan is frantically filling
drawing
out a bracket,
Yeah.
and he's just picking movies off the page. But yeah, so
that means that this is going to be fucked up because
right.
I mean, I think the last time too, I had something on the list twice.
Oh right, yeah.
Sorry.
But that's why you shouldn't trust someone with shitty handwriting and a bad memory to be the scribe.
But while we're waiting,
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I'm going to go on a tangent here. So over the weekend, Ryan and I participated in a trivia night. Now, Joe couldn't be involved because he had a prior commitment with the variety show. Was your daughter participating or emceeing or what was she doing?
No, she's
in the band. Yeah.
Go on.
But Ryan and I went to a trivia night. It was a fundraiser for his son's baseball team. We were on the same team with a couple friends. And we won that motherfucker.
That's right. We crushed the competition.
It wasn't Ryan's first time, but it was my first time winning a trivia night. It was awesome.
I think it's no surprise to our listeners that it's not the first time I won a trivia night.
Ryan has won every time, I think.
Was that arrogant? I don't know. Maybe a little bit.
We got every question right until the 9th and 10th rounds when we missed one question each of those 2 rounds. We kicked ass.
Yeah, total points that you could have gotten was 120.
Yep.
We got 118.
It was awesome.
Which is epic. You know, I mean,
it was a good feeling. And we won back our money, and that was it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. But it was all for a good cause, too. That baseball team, which I am the general manager, whatever. I'm the bullshit empty suit at the head of the table.
What do they call them? Chomos? No. That's something else.
Yeah, but we made a lot of money.
Yeah,
you
had to. It was pretty crowded.
It was
there.
really good.
Full.
Basically, I told everybody there that my goal, not everybody, the fundraising coordinators, I said, my goal is I want to get this team 100% funded. I don't want the parents to have to pay a nickel.
Nice.
And we're there.
You're close.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
I mean, they got to buy their uniforms for their kids and that, but and I take a small amount of money
everybody gets a free jock strap.
Right. I take a little bit of money from everybody for just to make sure in case shit doesn't go well. But bottom line is I'll be able to give all that. I should hopefully be able to give everything back or carry it over to next year.
And we get new microphones on the podcast.
Not quite. Yeah. But yeah, it was really good. And it's always good whenever you are involved in an organization and you think, you're living in this little vacuum where it's like, this is my world and nobody cares about what I'm doing over here. And then whenever you have something like this and hundreds of people show up and throw $20 bills at your team and you realize like, holy shit, this is a big deal. I mean, we're one baseball. We're not in a club. We're just one team, 13 kids, 13 sets of parents. And to have all these people show up and support us was just miraculous. I mean, it was really, it makes you feel good.
Any reason to drink.
Yeah, and I had a few beers,
And the leader of the whole thing, the GM of the team, happened to win the whole tournament.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I felt a little bit bad about that, but whatever.
But,
I mean, it's
and his sister, who was also there at another table, her best friend who was participating, happened to win the grand prize of $1,000 from the 50-50.
Really? Yeah.
So it's just coincidence. Totally, nothing shady at all.
Well, we were audited.
No, that was exciing to see her continue to.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there are other people out there
cool.
talking about those coincidences that. I get it, but it was all on the up and up.
No, it was, yeah.
But I'm sure that there's bullshit. That's some shit, and but whatever. It was a good night. It was good. I think everybody had fun. Everybody enjoyed themselves.
It was a good time.
Let's see.
My wife especially had a really good time.
Yeah,
she paid for it the next day. But yeah, it was fun, and we won. That was the best part.
All right, brackets built.
All right, so we are half an hour into this episode already.
I'm underappreciated
so we're gonna go.
I was talking all that time while I was writing down.
We have no idea if he wrote the same movie 4 times or not, but. We're going to speed through this round because Joe's got shit to do.
We didn't even tell him what the category is.
Summer Blockbusters.
All right, so I've
been there, done that.
Sure I can.
So, all right.
My wife says I can't multitask. She should have seen that. That was impressive.
To recap,
Proud of myself.
It's the Sweet 16, March Madness, Sweet 16 of Summer Blockbuster movies. So,
we'd like to say
Ryan,
of all time, but really of our recollection,
the last 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah, whammies are in effect, fully in effect.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So give us a rundown. What are the movies, and did you leave any off?
I did not leave any off. I'm going to go from this list, and I got a few honorable mentions here that we'll say. But we have.
That's what I meant by leaving any off.
In no particular order. This is not the matchups, but we have Batman, the original Michael Keaton,
1989,
right? Jurassic Park, original.
Mm-hmm.
Independence Day, original. Jaws, original.
Okay.
Back to the Future, again the original. All these have sequels, right?
Just,
Ghostbusters.
Just let us know if it's a sequel.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, Star Wars. Episode 4.
Okay.
kind of
A New Hope.
The 1977.
Right. Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Avengers, Die Hard, Forrest Gump, Pirates of the Caribbean, E.T., Top Gun, Aliens, Terminator 2, the only sequel, and then the three honorable mentions that we have are. Did I say Guardians?
You did not.
I was say Guardians of the Galaxy, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I'm not sure this one belongs, but The Rock. Great movie, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I think at the time it was a blockbuster.
Right. Yeah. And our criteria is,
what's his name?
Was it
Nicolas Cage?
Nick Cage,
and Sean
Connery, and Ed Harris.
Yeah.
Oh, a whole
Stars.
shit of it, but he's naked in it.
Well, that's...
Which one? Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage.
That's noteworthy.
I don't recall that.
He's playing guitar, and he has a guitar over
Is he
him.
naked? I think he had boxers on. Do you
No,
remember
he's
his
naked because he says it to her.
his girlfriend, fiance, whatever in that?
Yeah.
Man, she's smoking hot.
Right.
Anyway.
All right.
Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, the one that sort of stands out in there to me is Avengers. That's much newer than all the others. These are mostly like 80s, 90s movies.
Yeah. Most. I think it was just a sign of our age. We got a couple 70s in there, and but it's really kind of us and what we recall. Maybe there was some better. I don't think there was. Maybe the age of the blockbuster didn't really exist until the late 70s, early 80s. I don't know if we weren't around. We were either little babies or non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, in 1970, who knows? Maybe there was. Maybe it was Love Story or some shit like that.
Yeah, or this is what is that? The one they just redid.
What was the one? Mrs. Robinson one may have been one.
Stars Born.
Stars Born. Yeah. That was late 70s too, I think. It was, or maybe it was early
70s.
Was it?
71, I think.
Yeah. So,
all right, let's get into this.
Anyway,
so what are our matchups
others
here?
We'll go, round one.
Round one.
Batman up against Aliens.
Ooh, all right.
Original Aliens. So,
okay.
Go. Talk amongst yourself.
We're going to do them one at a time? All right.
Yeah, I mean, I already read them all off.
Yeah,
I don't need to read them.
All right, so Batman, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Kim Basinger.
Mm-hmm.
Classic, right? I remember lines out the theater. Every seat was taken.
And all the propaganda, all the marketing, T-shirts, merch
everywhere. Yep.
And Prince had a fucking hit album. We've talked about that on here before, how Prince, was a genius. I mean, that he was able to do that shit and make a hit out of it. I mean, he was a genius before that, but Batman was a big movie, and in my opinion, still one of the best Batman movies of all time. A lot of young kids will be like, "Oh, no, Dark Knight!"
Right?
And they're great too. But
Dark Knight's awesome.
But the '89 Batman movie was artistic. It was unique. It was entertaining. Good music. It was good. It was really good.
A lot of purple.
A lot of purple. But Jack Nicholson was amazing. I mean. There's a question for everybody: Heath Ledger or Jack Nicholson as your Joker?
Ooh, it's two different Jokers,
right? They're completely
different.
Yeah,
I would go Heath Ledger, but Jack Nicholson was great.
Yeah, that's hard. It's a hard call. I'm not going to make a call.
All right.
So then you got Aliens.
All right. Oh man.
So Aliens.
No, that's a sequel. We said that was the only other. T2 was the only sequel, but this is a sequel.
Right, because we didn't do Alien.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So much. I ain't seen either of them. So.
Oh my god.
So I can tell you right now, my vote.
Yeah, so Aliens was much more of an action movie versus Alien, which was more of a horror movie. You had a bigger cast.
Ever since Working Girl, I can't look at Sigourney Weaver the same way.
Oh, the big hair.
Yeah.
I liked her in Copycat.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Yeah. No, but I mean, Aliens is not on my list high on my list.
Really?
I think it's a fine movie, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm sure it was great in its day.
Yeah,
I'm Batman.
Yeah, I love Aliens. It's one of my favorite sci-fi kind of horror movies, but yeah, we got to go Batman.
And so it
Is
shall
that
be.
unanimous? All right.
Yep. Well, it doesn't matter. My vote doesn't matter. Once again.
Unless you whammied it.
No, yeah, I'm not whammying that shit. Next up, we got Pirates of the Caribbean, and what is sometimes thought of as a Christmas movie, but it was actually released in the summertime, which goes again with my theory that it's not a Christmas movie. Die Hard. It's definitely not. It's not a Christmas movie. But yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean
Takes place
Die Hard.
at Christmas.
Yeah, but it's not a Christmas movie. There's nothing Christmas about it. It's death and dismemberment.
Trees
I have a gun now. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, stupid.
But go on. Yeah.
Anyway, so Pirates of the Caribbean. Again, we talked about this whenever we were kind of coming up with a list that the first one was good, the second one was good, and then they all just I haven't seen. I don't think any other ones after that. They all just kind of trailed off.
Same. Yeah.
And I think Johnny Depp, right? I think he. It's like great. Yeah, you're good at being a drunken sailor. We're proud of you. You know.
At the time when that first one came out, there was a huge event.
It was great.
It remade his career.
And it was unique, and it was cool, and it was a Disney
really
thing,
good
and
CGI
it was
and all that. Yeah,
it was all good.
Creative.
I've never seen it.
I think 3/4 of these movies Joe hasn't seen.
Well, you've seen Die Hard though,
and I'm voting Die Hard.
Okay, well that's on the record then.
I don't actually recall because I was too young, and I'm sure I didn't see it in the theater when Die Hard came out. How big of an event that was, or if it was like people lined up to go see it and see it
I bet
again.
they did because everybody loved
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Yeah. I mean, he was
that was
early.
At his
peak. That's when he was giving bullshit. He did Moonlighting,
right?
Yeah. And Moonlighting.
But Die Hard was like his first big movie,
right?
I mean,
but he had already put out an album at that point too.
The Return of Bruno. Yeah. I owned it on cassette.
Yeah. So my sister.
It wasn't that good. It doesn't hold up. But
and it kind of I don't know if it was the beginning, but for that 80s and early 90s genre, the Die Hard was kind of the epitome of an action movie,
right?
So everybody else was trying to copy Die Hard from then on.
Well, but from that, most action movies starred just big swole motherfuckers, and he was just a regular guy,
true.
right?
Yeah. But that gets my vote. Die Hard.
Yeah, I agree. It's unanimous again. I think. I think you're right. It was the beginning of not the beginning of a genre, but it definitely,
sort of redefined what an action movie was.
Yeah. And yes, he was a normal guy, but he was a bad motherfucker. I mean, he wasn't Schwarzenegger. He wasn't Rambo. He wasn't Stallone.
Wasn't even Carl Weathers.
No, he wasn't even Carl Weathers. But for whatever reason, everybody watched this guy go through hell, save the day, and he was a badass. So
with no shoes.
Bloody ass feet. Yeah. All right, moving on. E.T. This is a good matchup. Yeah, I think Joe. No, you haven't seen. Joe hasn't seen E.T.
Jesus Christ.
Star Wars.
Vates parts.
Oh my God. Why are we doing this?
I don't know. We picked our bad theme.
He was along. He was going with us all along.
Yeah, well, they're blockbusters. What the hell?
Yeah.
I've never seen them.
But you have. Well, you know about them. You know what they're about. You know, E.T.'s about
Reese's Pieces and Drew Barrymore smoked.
Something like that. Yeah. That's when she it was during that movie tour when she stood on Letterman's desk and flashed herself. I think.
That was a little bit before Mad Love, I think.
And it's really creepy that you even said that. But,
yeah.
So we're going E.T. versus the original Star Wars.
Is it creepy for me or is it creepy for Letterman? I think it's more creepy for Letterman.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. E.T. versus Star Wars and.
This is definitely a coin toss for me.
Well, I think it's this is probably shitty because it's a no-brainer. I think for both Jarod and I. At least it's a no-brainer for me. I love E.T. I remember seeing it. I believe I remember seeing it in the theater. I remember when it came out on VHS and watching it then. It was a big deal. Everything was about E.T. Toys, Burger King toys, and everything. Happy Meal toys. Everything was E.T. Shoving it down your fucking throat, and it was a great movie. But you can't compete with Star Wars.
Yeah,
Star Wars is probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it makes it through all the way to the end here. But
I'm gonna go Star Wars too because I've seen more of it than I have E.T.
Yeah,
I love E.T. It's a classic. I think it holds up today. I think every kid on a bike tried to lock their brakes up and skid that back tire out to the side.
I didn't need fucking Elliot to show me how to do that stuff. I was doing that before Elliot was.
They had like 5 of them lined up.
Is that the kid's name, Elliot?
Yeah.
Man, you got to watch E.T. But
I've made it this long. Why?
Right.
Because it's
Spielberg's
good.
got enough money.
Movie.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
But Star Wars, that gets the vote. That's a game changer.
Next up, Independence Day and Terminator 2.
All right.
I have seen both these movies.
Look at this.
All right. Well, weigh in first. You've seen these.
Okay. T2 is a good movie. Better soundtrack. But I'm gonna have to go Independence Day, and the reason why is because I actually got hyped to see that movie, and I went on July 2nd because it was supposed to be released on July 3rd, and they released it a day early, so that all the dates in the movie would make sense.
Oh, okay. I don't recall that. That's cool though.
And so I went and seen it, and I liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good movie, and what I liked about it the most, and I said it as I was watching it, is they didn't pay any of these actors because none of them at the time were.
Well, Goldblum was kind of big, but he still wasn't. I mean, he did.
I mean, Fly came out in '85.
Yeah, and he did Jurassic Park before that too.
In '93.
But it kind of launched Will Smith's movie career.
Right. Yeah.
Vivica A. Fox.
Yeah. They all were
Harry Connick Jr.
Yeah.
Well,
But he's his co-pilot.
He was his co-pilot.
Like, his buddy.
Ah, yeah, right. Okay.
But he dies.
Okay.
No, it wasn't his
Spoiler
co-pilot. It was another pilot.
But they were like
Because don't take your mask off.
And Randy Quaid. Maybe it was the beginning of his craziness. He played a psychopath drunk in the movie.
Yeah. Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of, I would say,
Mid-level.
tier 2, tier 3.
Yeah.
So I
just wouldn't say B list, but definitely not the top of the A list.
Yeah, when Goldblum is your A-lister, you're definitely relying a lot more on your CGI, which was amazing at the time.
Oh yeah.
You watch it now and it's so remedial, but
go ahead, Jared. Where do you lie?
What was the other one? T2? Okay.
Yep. So we've already forgotten. I think we know where we're going with this. We're forgetting about who it's even up against.
No, I was going to say Terminator 2 to me was better than Terminator. As much as Terminator is a classic, to me it's very dated. The effects are dated, the makeup and all that.
1984,
I think. Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? That movie was insane for 1984.
Well, I know, but when you look at it now, you're like, okay, I can see all the makeup. I can see the.
If you watch anything, we could say the same thing about Star Wars. You look at Star Wars, you look at some of the electronics, and I mean, it was definitely cutting edge, and it was very. But still, there's things in there you're like, well, that's clearly a trash can,
Yeah. But Terminator 2 was a game changer with the effects. You had all that CGI, the morphing of the T-1000, and the music was great. Harleys, and I mean, it was just an awesome movie. Independence Day was really good too. To me, it doesn't hold up quite as well. It's a little cheesy in places, and it's really good.
Cheesy.
Yeah.
You got B-list actors,
but I'm going Terminator 2.
And Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, as a badass.
Yeah.
She was kind of helpless in the first one, and then she's kicking ass in the second.
She's seen some shit.
That's right.
But other than her credits on Love Boat and maybe a walk on Taxi, Linda Hamilton's not much.
Was she? George Hamilton, the super tan guy? Is she related? I imagine she is, right? I don't know either.
Anyway, tan.
Doesn't matter because I'm voting for Independence Day, as I said.
Wow.
While we're making the list, anytime
whammy?
No whammy.
Anytime Independence Day comes on the TV, I'll watch it. It's kind of like Shawshank. I mean, it's
Shawshank's a fucking, and that is a summer blockbuster.
Was it a summer? Oh,
shit! Came out the same year as Forrest Gump.
But see, it wasn't really a blockbuster. It kind of, I think, it didn't do as well in the theater.
Well,
it picked up steam on video and on DVD.
But
it was up for an Oscar that year and lost to Forrest Gump.
All right.
Come on, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie. But anyway, I put it in the same class as far as if it's on TV, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Rocky, any of them, I'm going to watch it. Rambo 2, I'll watch. But I've watched all the Rambos at one sitting with.
Never.
With
I've only seen the
old school 40-year-old virgin. Those are two that if it's on, I'm watching it.
No, but Independence Day is in that list, and that's why it'll.
Good burger.
It's going to take this.
If it's on, I'm watching it.
All right.
Did you say Mac? Who said Mac and Me earlier?
He said.
Joe said he'd never seen E.T., and I was like, "You've seen Mac and Me, though."
They're exactly the same movie.
I ain't seen it. I ain't seen that shit neither.
No, don't. It's not.
Saw a video that did you know Paul Rudd every time he goes on Conan to pump a movie up to pitch it, not to pitch a movie, but to promo a movie, Conan plays the same clip every time Paul Rudd comes on, and it's a clip from Mac and Me.
Oh my god!
And
no, I didn't know that.
It's the same clip. It's this kid in a wheelchair flying off a cliff into like the ocean, and then Mac, the alien, pops up out of nowhere with these big goofy eyes, like what the hell happened, And Paul Rudd, they always come back. They always say like, and here's a clip from My Idiot Brother, Our Idiot Brother, or whatever movie, Anchorman. And it comes back, and he's like, "Well, it's really nice to see that, come together. That film was and he plays it perfectly,
right?
And Conan every time is just head and hands, like, why do we keep doing this with this guy? What are we doing here? It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I like Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. Go look that shit up on YouTube. I think it was all strung together. All of his appearances on Conan, where they show that stupid clip. Anyway,
all right, what's next?
Moving on, Jaws and Forrest Gump.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Mm-hmm. You go first, Ryan.
It is a tough one. It's been a long time since I've seen Forrest Gump. It's a great movie. I've watched it, I would say, a half a dozen times in my life. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And once so I think like the first time I saw it, it was good. It was a good movie. It was entertaining. The second time is whenever you notice all the little nuances and you're like, oh shit, and you realize the cleverness of it. And then beyond that, you're like, it's just a heartwarming story, but you know everything that's going to happen. I don't know.
You still get surprised at Jaws?
No, I don't get surprised at Jaws either. But if it's on, I'll watch it. There's iconic lines in it. There's a line that I say far more than I should, and it's because my father says it all the time too. But we're going to need a bigger boat. I mean, there's lines like that come out of it that are just iconic, and that. It's 2019. That movie came out in 78? 75. So it's a 44-year-old movie, and I'm not the only one that says lines from that movie. And I think, I think it's a better movie considering the time, considering everything else. Forrest Gump's a great movie. And again, it's all subjective. So Jaws gets my vote.
Me? So this great matchup. Jaws came out the year I was born. I wasn't born yet. I think my parents went to see it and thought it was great. My mother would have been pregnant with me when it came out.
Send her to labor, maybe. Yeah,
maybe. Well, then she was in labor for like 4 months. So that's fucked.
Oh, you were a sizable task, I'm sure.
Actually, no.
You were a little baby?
I wasn't big. I was, I don't know. Not like my dad. My dad was 12 pounds, 2 ounces.
Holy shit.
And they had to break his collarbone to get him out.
Jesus Christ.
That was my dad.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
And born at the same hospital my daughter was born at, too.
Wow.
At any rate,
I had a fucked up head when I was born because they used the salad tongs a little too tough on me. Made my head all jacked up, and my baby pictures are fucked. My dad always likes to show me, look how stupid he looked, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, Dad. I love you too, pal.
I actually went and seen.
Ask him; he'll show you.
I actually went and seen Forrest Gump at the theater when it came out. The movie was amazing. The first time I seen it, I watch it. It's fucking awesome. Jaws. I mean, I grew up with it. Great movie. I think the robot fucking shark or whatever, that's really good. Spielberg did I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's his first movie.
Definitely his first success.
Yeah. But I'm going Gump.
Going Gump.
Really?
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's a good matchup. Jaws is kind of that prototypical terrorizing movie, right? It's not a horror movie, but it's so intense. Thriller, I guess you'd call it.
Mm-hmm.
It affected everybody. Nobody wants to go in the water. Anytime you go out in the ocean or a gulf, you're looking for
I was just about to say that.
right?
Is that movie had an impact on ocean going activity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Spielberg never goes in the water. He won't go in the water.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, my sister and I talk about it still. I mean, we remember seeing the movie and we're like, well, okay, fuck the ocean. We're done with that.
Yeah,
and even swimming pools are questionable at this point because we're too dumb to know better.
Yeah. Now, Forrest Gump, on the other hand, is iconic. You got a great soundtrack, tons
Absolutely
of great songs.
Soundtrack, yeah.
And so many scenes, like you said, where you notice little details and all these little pop culture references and everything. So, in my opinion, that wins out. Forrest Gump. You got so many references to things that you're just constantly noticing, little stuff, and it's clever.
Gonna whammy that shit.
I'm really strongly considering
thinking
it,
about
but
whammying it.
I'm looking at the rest of the bracket and see where else I might want to save it. I mean, it's the first round. I think that I don't want to put all my stock in it. I'll let Forrest Gump move along, I think.
You had that subtle AIDS reference, and
subtle.
You had
subtle.
titanium.
She died.
Well,
AIDS.
but they didn't. They never said what it was. They didn't tell you it was AIDS. It was just she died.
I got a poison in my blood.
Yeah, she was
from all my banging,
putting everything in her body that wasn't nailed down. Needles, wieners. It didn't
It
matter.
might have
She
been hepatitis B. You don't know.
Yeah, they don't kill you so fast. And I didn't see any jaundice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I have no problem with Forrest Gump. It's a great movie. But the point I was going to make, I was going to try to win you guys over with the point that you made is anybody that saw that movie, even if you didn't even see the whole movie, you knew you knew the music and you thought about that shit when you went in the ocean. Maybe not so much today, but back then, yeah. And all it took, you're in the ocean with people and someone started going, nah. You're like, fuck this, I'm out, you know, and it scares the shit out of people. So,
but see,
how many movies had that kind of impact?
I'm that way, anytime I see a minibus full of soldiers, I just I don't want AIDS, man. Get me out of here. That's the first thing, It's just like Jaws.
Okay. All right. Well, they're going to let that go, I think.
And that fucker Johnson. That son of a bitch, Lion Johnson.
All right, moving on. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
And this is another great matchup. Ghostbusters.
Oh, shit.
This is a tough one for me.
I'll go first because I've only seen one of them.
Which one? What? You haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Ghostbusters.
Nope. My goodness, man. We need to have a movie
night.
night.
I mean,
We say
really,
that all the time.
honestly, I've only seen Harrison Ford in The Fugitive.
Come
What?
on.
I can't think of anything else.
American Graffiti. That was his first movie.
Yeah, I never really watched
You'd
it.
like it.
though.
It's got a lot of old cars.
Yeah, I know. I've seen. I know it's got Wolfman Jack and all that shit.
Air Force One.
Yeah,
No.
I ain't seen it.
I'm kidding.
I ain't seen it.
Come on. Harrison Ford. You've only seen...
I mean, God.
you haven't seen Star Wars.
I've seen Expendables.
He
wasn't in that.
Yeah, he's in that.
Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford is in Expendables 3.
I don't
okay.
know.
Maybe
I haven't
Expendables
seen
3.
the third one.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, I guess, is your
Yeah,
vote.
it's my vote.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a really tough one. I'll
It
go
is
next,
tough,
but so you hear Raiders of the Lost Ark. I remember that being a summer movie. I remember it being a giant deal. I remember the Ghostbusters song being a hit. I remember it coming out, but it doesn't scream summer to me. I don't know. What's our fucking criteria here?
Yeah.
Does it boil down to what's my favorite movie, or out of those two? I think Raiders of the Lost Ark holds up better. Ghostbusters is a great movie. I love Bill Murray and everything that the man does. Boy. I am gonna go. Shit. I think I'm gonna go with Raiders.
Interesting. You're a Bill Murray guy too.
I am, and it's tough. I mean, it has nothing to do with Bill Murray. It's the movie that it was just on the other day. I saw a part of it. I didn't watch it.
Is that the one with the big rock?
Yes.
Rolls down the thing.
Yes.
Is Short Round in that?
No, that's the
two.
other one.
That's
the second one.
Yeah. So the
Is Kate Capshaw in that one?
No, that's the
That's
same
the
one
same
with Short Round.
yeah, but Ghostbusters was on, and it has Slimer in it, and it's it's going. The part was when they were there in the hotel, and they destroy the fucking place, and they. And the guy's standing outside the doors saying, they finally come out and they're like, I'm not paying you that. And we can put it back for you. And it was Dan Aykroyd delivered a great line. Well, just go, we'll put it right back in there. And then it goes into like, well, this is our containment unit. And that's whenever Ernie comes into it. And I'm watching this and again, what year was that? 86, 7, something like that. And this ghost is so cheesy.
The first one
would
have been 84 because the second one didn't come out until 89.
Okay. Yeah, but I was just like, it's good. It just doesn't quite hold up. Raiders,
Are you fucking kidding me? That movie's awesome.
It's a great movie. There's no doubt about it. I'm just
saying, 2 in the box, 1 in the hole. We be fast and they be slow.
It doesn't hold up as well as Raiders. I don't want to say it doesn't hold up because it does. I would watch it. I did watch parts of it the other day. I think that Raiders is better. And I think it was a bigger blockbuster.
And I've never even seen it.
And well, you're missing out because it's good. Harrison Ford's a fantastic actor.
I love him in The Fugitive.
Now, I do love Ghostbusters. If I had to pick a Bill Murray movie, it's probably that or Groundhog Day.
Another good one.
Yeah. And it's kind of got that, subtle humor. I wouldn't call it it's not like a slapstick comedy,
right?
But it's definitely funny. Just enough action and kind of some of that sci-fi that keeps it interesting. But it doesn't. Raiders of the Lost Ark is like a classic, epic, iconic action movie.
Yeah.
It made Harrison Ford what he is, other than maybe Star Wars and Han Solo.
Yeah.
Everybody's out there practicing with their whip, and yeah,
got a giggle out of it. Almost spit his fucking beer out there.
Everybody's out there practicing.
They're jumping over ravines and running from boulders. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And anyway, yeah. Raiders of the Lost Ark for sure.
All right.
Unless you're whammy.
No whammy.
I don't think you're allowed to whammy against a movie you haven't seen. Is that a new rule?
I might as well just
introducing new rules. No, I don't.
All right, you can whammy whenever you want.
We would have to discuss that at the end of this one if we want to change the rules.
You just need to start watching some more classic movies.
Yeah. Well, you kind of missed the moment. The 80s. What were you doing?
I was fucking playing sports, guys.
We were playing Atari and watching movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got?
Wasn't good at sports.
2-3 sport guy.
Back to the Future. Top Gun.
Okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
No brainer. I love Top Gun, but Back to the Future just is one of my top 3 or 5 movies of all time.
Really? Is that high on your list?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Back to the Future as well. Minus, I would like to continually have the volleyball scene on loop.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to wear this someday. I have a T-shirt with the Iceman on it with the volleyball spinning. Yeah, and it's a picture of Val Kilmer, and I only wear it on Valentine's Day.
There it is.
Slider, you stink.
Yeah, I'm with you. Back to the Future. This was kind of a no-brainer. I'm thinking that maybe Top Gun didn't belong on this list, but
it's a huge movie. Everybody's seen it.
What if we had put it up against
F-14s?
The Rock,
that's a great.
Or the Guardians of the Galaxy, or Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Would any of those fare any better?
I think Ferris probably could have got at him.
I don't know.
Against Back
Top
to the Future
would beat those. Oh no, I was going to say
Back to the Future.
I'm saying if we were to swap in one of these other honorables.
Back to the Future has already won one of these with us.
I think. Yeah. What the hell? What category was it? I don't have to look at it.
Movies with
trilogies or whatever.
Yeah. Franchises, movie franchises. Back to the Future won that? No shit.
I think so. No, I think fucking Rocky did.
That's probably before it was pre-whammy. But
it was definitely
Rocky. Maybe I fudged the paperwork over here just a bit, just to push Rocky. Well, Rocky deserves it, man.
Fuck Rocky.
Have you seen?
Can he travel back in time? No,
can't even say his name anymore.
No, that's supposed to mean something. That was dialogue.
All right,
kidding.
What's next?
Jurassic Park. The Avengers.
Again, I've only seen one.
Oh my god!
And it's the Avengers,
right?
And it's one of your favorite movies.
And it is one of my favorite movies of all time. So it's actually Tony Stark is the reason I like any
superhero movie,
any Marvel.
Yeah. Well,
When I seen the first Iron Man, I was hooked. and so if he's not in them, I'm not a fan of them all. And then when they're leaving soon. Chris Evans.
You're done with Marvel at that point.
Most likely.
They better bring somebody in that's as charismatic as Tony Stark, and that's hard to do.
You can.
That's like I was saying earlier. I saw Captain Marvel. I'm like, yeah, all right, great. Enough of this origin shit. Someone needs to go get Tony. That fucker's floating around in space out there. You got to go out there and you got to get that fucking Iron Man.
Yeah, you don't look for an hour and stop.
Yeah. What are we doing fucking around with this chick in the 80s? Why are we in a blockbuster?
I thought she was in the 90s.
It was the 90s.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Whatever.
Anyhow, Avengers all day long.
All right. What was the other one? Avengers and
Jurassic
Park. Do you want to go next? You want me to go?
Well, I think I know my answer, but it's hard only because I do like Jurassic Park. I remember seeing it at the theater, saw it with my sister, and we got the shit scared out. I mean, there's not a lot of scary parts in that movie. When that fucking little, it was a velociraptor or whatever, jumps through the ceiling, I remember we were both sitting there, assholes, with our feet on the chair in front of us, and both of us at the same time pulled our feet back and got in the fetal position.
Right.
Like, oh, shit, it scared the crap. We laughed our asses off because we both acted like idiots in the theater, like this dinosaur was going to get us. So I remember seeing it at the theater, and it was a good movie and it's exciting. But the Avengers is newer, so the question, does it hold? I think Avengers is easily going to be one of the, those movies that they just go on forever, and everybody loves it for years and years and years to come. So I got to go with the Avengers too.
Wow. Well,
I did like the Explorers though in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I love Marvel movies. I see most of them on opening day. Avengers was, obviously the culmination of all those other origin movies, right. Iron Man and Thor and all those. But honestly, I wasn't that big of a fan of the first Avengers movie. It kind of wasn't as great. I didn't think it deserved to be $1 billion movie. It could have been better, in my opinion, in a lot of ways.
But it was the first time you saw all these guys together. Yeah. All these blockbusters previously,
right?
Summer blockbusters, now bringing all these characters into one thing that culminates.
I know. I mean, I get it. In theory, it was awesome. And I just think that it didn't get pulled off the way I would have wanted. And that being said, Jurassic Park, to me, was a classic. It was a game changer with the CGI dinosaurs. Right. I mean, there just wasn't a way to make dinosaurs look convincing before that, and they mixed in the animatronics. So the actual.
Did you see the big things that came out of the sky in Avengers?
I did.
I don't know if you missed it or not.
The Chitauri. I did, but Jurassic Park is another one of those movies that anytime it's on, I'll keep watching it. You had Nick Fury, Sam Jackson was in Jurassic Park. Yeah. Come on.
And Newman. So I mean, he was partnered with Newman,
right?
Yeah, and doesn't Newman die?
Yeah, a violent death in a porta potty. I believe.
And he's an asshole.
No, it wasn't a porta potty. He is an asshole. But when is he not an asshole? What the fuck's that guy's name even?
I don't know.
I forget.
Poor bastard. He's just
Newman. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. That's like well.
But I am going to. Fuck you guys. Whammy.
Oh, shit.
Jurassic Park moves on.
That's fucking gross.
Over the Avengers. Ryan already had it penciled in.
I didn't think you'd whammy that.
Whammy.
Whammy.
Jurassic
fucking ridiculous.
Park. All right.
Well,
I know maybe the category should be how many porno movies were spun off from it. So I'm pretty sure there was a Jurassic Pork.
Yeah,
Jurassic
ass.
I don't know how many of the Avengers spun off, but
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's a whole other category we can do for another day. All right, moving on round two.
All right, round two. Okay, we're like an hour in, so at least.
Well, these always take the first round always takes a long time.
It'll go quick.
We don't talk about it much once we get down to the Elite Eight, Batman and Die Hard. We've already beat these fucking movies to death, So, but it gets a little tougher because established they're all good movies.
I remember going to like McDonald's or Burger King and getting Batman cups. I never got a Die Hard cup.
It's a good call, and I like the logic behind it. I think it's maybe that should be how we quantify this. I don't know.
So I'm gonna go Batman.
Batman is the vote for Joe.
Yeah, to me, I love superhero movies, and Batman was kind of the first one that sort of started that whole genre for me.
Mine would have been Christopher Reeves.
Well,
Superman.
you're right. Superman did sort of start it all.
Superman never gets enough credit.
He don't.
And I love Michael Keaton, but I got to go Die Hard. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Really?
It's a good movie.
Why you got to put the pressure on me,
I
man?
don't know.
Well, you're out of whammies.
I am out of whammies, so you can do what you want here.
Yeah, I think I got to go with Batman because we were talking about you thought it was a Christmas movie. Well, I mean, as far as when it was released, I'm not talking about whether it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
When it was released, and honestly, I wasn't certain that it came out in the summertime.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's like
None of us knew for sure.
I remember Batman being
that's true.
the super hit. I remember again all the shit.
And
that
I don't
you bought.
know if people were lined up out the theater to see Die Hard, but I know for sure they were for Batman.
Right.
So Batman's moving on, and I think that's
All right, it's a good choice.
a
Solid choice.
Yeah, it's a good one. This one is gonna be. We're gonna go over here first. Forrest Gump and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Are those both movies you haven't seen? No, you've seen Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Not Raiders though.
Not Raiders. So you know my vote.
I think I know your vote. You're going with Forrest Gump.
Yep.
All right.
I got to go Raiders. I love Forrest Gump, but I got to go Raiders.
Next time I'm going.
All right.
Second.
All right. I can't handle the pressure.
Yeah, you guys are putting a lot of pressure on me here.
Pressure. What would you know about pressure?
I have kissed the man.
I think is Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's kind of. I don't need to beat it to death.
That kind of surgery can be done over the weekend.
Forrest Gump's great, but Raiders is, again, it's an iconic movie. It's I don't think maybe it does it because it has no special effects in it. I mean, it did have special effects in it, but it wasn't like the action sequence or whatever. The special effects were making Nixon stand next to to Forrest Gump.
Right.
Bullshit. He had Bear Bryant as his coach. And,
right.
And
Lieutenant Dan didn't have no legs.
And Lieutenant Dan had no legs, and they had the entire stadium that says, "Go Forrest, go!"
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that shit was fucking amazing.
It did. It had more special effects,
right? But
Raiders,
not the action type
not
of
stunt type.
Oh, it didn't have
special
more
effects.
than Raiders.
And as far as action, didn't he carry like seven guys
He saved
out of
his
the
whole
fucking
battalion.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's too late. I already wrote
in
down
Viet
Raiders.
Cong.
I already wrote down Raiders.
Raiders
Lost Ark.
was on.
Unless you want to
No,
drop a whammy on this. All right.
I still got one in the hole.
You do. We're going to save that one. So Back to the Future and Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park that was whammied into the round of 8.
round.
I'm going to
go first.
I'm going to go first and Back to the Future. It's an easy one. I mean, Jurassic Park's great, and I know you brought it in here, but I think you brought it into a bloodbath.
That was probably a bad move.
It's
Do you want to go?
But you didn't know. You don't have the paper in front of you to know who it's going up
Again,
against.
I've only seen one of these.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Even though I voted Jurassic Park on, Back to the Future is
So
one
now,
of
do
my
you
top.
still have a whammy?
I do.
Yeah, both
I do.
of you.
This last rounds might be interesting, or you may not even use them. You don't have to use it.
I know I don't have to use it.
Now, do you think that? Do you think Avengers would beat Back to the Future?
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It would have been there would have been more conversation, I think, about it.
Definitely, but I don't know. Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think still Back to the Future probably would have moved
Neither
on.
here nor there. So.
Yeah,
All right. Go ahead.
Because
Star Wars and Independence Day.
Ooh, okay.
So I only saved this one for last. I kept pushing it off. It should have been second in the way that I'm going through the list here, but only because they're actually kind of similar movies.
They
you know,
are.
I mean, there's a lot of flying around, shooting and shit.
Yeah.
Saving the world, saving the
Ain't no
rebellion.
don't
lightsabers.
shoot none of that green shit at me.
No, but yeah, but there's a rebellion, and there's there's the bad guys, But yeah, I think it's a good matchup. I think.
I'll be the third. You guys kick it off.
But I think that the easy answer and the logical answer for me is Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You say you're going to be third? I don't think it's going to matter unless you're going to whammy shit.
Well, Star Wars changed the way science fiction was handled and appreciated in movies. So, as good as Independence Day is, Star Wars is a marketing gold mine.
Yeah.
I mean, it just changed
and
reality
what they
for
did
people,
with the budget that they had, and even like the marketing gold mine that it was, they weren't even prepared for that. No. Whenever that movie came out, the action figures and shit were just kind of like a.
That's how George Lucas acquired the rights to all that stuff because the Fox didn't care. They were like, all right, whatever. You can have the lunchboxes.
It ends up being a $1 trillion enterprise.
Made a movie with. But yeah, Star Wars
changed the game definitely. what movie before Star Wars had crap like that issued for
Gone
it?
with the Wind. No. Probably.
Wizard of Oz, I think if you bought a popcorn, you got a free munchkin.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Game changer.
A whole different promo.
Yeah. Chew on this.
So
What do you got, Joe?
So Star Wars has 2 votes.
Yeah.
Independence Day has 0 votes.
I feel like you're going to go Independence Day.
Yep, I am, but it doesn't
you
make
using-
It doesn't matter.
Using the
You,
whammy? No?
I'll whammy it later.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right,
So
later.
we're gonna go with Star Wars.
Nice.
It gets to move on. All right, we got a great Final Four.
Final 4 here, folks.
Great Final Four. So we got Batman, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future, and Star Wars, which is, how are we gonna argue this shit?
Batman, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future, and Star Wars.
And Batman and Raiders are up against each other,
Okay.
and Star Wars and Back to the Future are up against each other. This gets interesting now.
Mm-hmm.
I
Not really, but
well,
For me.
you've seen all of them.
no.
No, he hasn't seen
I've seen Raiders.
You haven't seen
and
Star
I've
Wars.
barely seen Star Wars.
Okay.
Is that the one where he flies down? And no, that's not that one.
It does fly.
What's the first matchup?
So Batman and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
You go first, Jared.
Batman and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's tough. Wow. I'm leaning towards Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's more iconic. Harrison Ford, one of the greatest actors, and that's one of his biggest roles. But Batman kind of defined that genre, even a little more than Superman. As much as Superman was sort of the first of those big hit superhero movies, Batman kind of redefined it maybe a decade later.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's
Yeah,
tough.
probably because
I
in
think we probably should have included
78,
Superman. I think
Yeah,
that might have been a summer
maybe,
hit, but
yeah.
Superman, the original, which would have came out in 78,
yeah, I think that's right.
was fucking insane.
Mhm.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it was.
That's where he caught Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
And then brought her down, and the helicopter was
Right.
falling.
Mhm.
Yep.
That was when I think
And
that's when
it's-
she did heroin for the first time.
It could have been.
He left her alone for a second,
Just
and it was
all it
turn
takes.
my head
Yeah.
for 1
Jesus
second.
Christ,
You're
I
over
just
here
saved your life, and you're already shooting up.
banging
Christ,
heroin.
jeez. Margot.
You fucking hooah. And then the second one, Superman 2, was Zod, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
honestly
Yeah.
that was I think that one's better than 1. Then they get into Richard Pryor.
Right.
I like that one.
It was
though.
funny.
Yeah,
it was a
it
different,
was.
whole different movie.
Yeah.
But the
Richard
Superman
Pryor's
aspect
like
of it,
skiing down the side of a
Yeah.
building and shit.
the Superman side of things wasn't that
And then
great.
there was a Superman 4,
I don't even know
the
what.
Quest for Peace.
The Quest
Yeah.
for
with
Peace.
like Solar Man or something, or
but I didn't.
Nuclear
yeah,
Man.
I never
Yeah.
seen that movie.
It was pretty terrible.
Nobody did. Not even Christopher.
They brought
Reeve.
Gene Hackman back for that one though.
Yeah, well, that's his biggest regret.
It is.
I think his biggest regret was Welcome to Mooseport. But
I'm gonna
on
go
tour.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Really?
It's
Okay.
a tough call though. I love
All
that Batman movie.
All right. You want to go?
Go ahead.
I am going to go with. So here, hitting a moving target. The category is Summer Blockbuster.
Right.
So because this is tough, and both of them are great, and I like them both, I got to go back to just the category. And as far as Summer Blockbuster goes, and my recollection, my life, I recall Batman being that big to do, as we've already discussed and beaten to death. And my glow in the dark Batman T-shirt was cool as fuck, and I wore it to the theater, and it was cool, man.
And the usher came and said, "Hey, can you turn off your fucking shirt,
turn-
asshole?"
Yeah, here's a
Put your
Sharpie.
Twizzler
Color
bag
that
over
shit
it.
in.
All right,
So I'm going Batman.
All right,
So he's Raiders.
Yep.
I'm
He's
Batman.
Raiders. I've seen one of these movies, and it wasn't Raiders. So
All right.
I'm going Batman.
All right. All right. Star Wars, Back to the Future. This is very difficult.
It is very difficult.
Well, it's not for me, so I'll go first.
All right.
Okay.
Back to the Future.
Probably should have made you go last, but whatever. But only because,
Well, it's not difficult for me, though.
right.
We might as well
So
just
we could have easily predicted where you were going to go.
Right, easily predicted. Back to the Future is my mom's favorite movie.
Yeah.
She
It's a good
loved
one.
it.
It's a good one.
I loved it. We
Mhm.
watched it all the time. So
So go ahead.
Man, it's really tough. Star Wars is a big part of I mean, it sounds goofy to say. It's a big part of my life. It's one of my favorite franchises. I played with the toys as a kid. I've seen and owned every movie. My kids, my son in particular, was a Star Wars fan when he was a kid. We got lightsabers around the house.
Oh, yeah, we had a shitload of damn things.
Like I said, it redefined sci-fi. People became, appreciated science fiction movies who didn't care about science fiction before that.
Yeah.
But then Back to the Future is in that same realm for me. It's one of those, anytime it's on, I can watch it. It's a whole different vibe, but you got the humor, you got a little bit of romance, you got action and adventure. You got
the romance between him and his mother?
His mother. Well, you got the skateboard stuff, which every kid tried to hop on a skateboard and do all the same tricks as him. Johnny B. Good. I mean, it's great.
Like Huey Lewis in the news, or Huey Lewis in it, not
right.
the news, but Huey Lewis was in it.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
Yeah.
But, man, I don't know. Like I said, Back to the Future's in my top 3 or 5 movies, but so Star Wars.
This is why I made you go this, But come on, with the clock's ticking here, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go Back to the Future.
All right. Well, that's easy because that's unanimous.
Wow.
And here's
Star
why.
Wars lost.
Star Wars is great. All the same reasons as Jarod. I mean, when I was a kid, it wasn't as big a part of my life, and I mean, I watched it. It was great. When I had kids, and it became big again because the prequels came out, and I watched them again with my oldest, and I was like, man, this is so. I mean, they were great movies then, and I enjoyed them, but I wasn't as into it. Mm-hmm. Here's why I'm going Back to the Future, because again, I remember the summer it came out. I remember watching it in the theater. I remember watching it on VHS when it came out
you probably
at
had
my friend's house
from a place.
Yeah. I mean, it was everything that everybody was talking about. It was, it was a true summer blockbuster that captured the attention, the minds and hearts and minds of the entire country, maybe the globe.
Wasn't that Robert Zemeckis, though?
Yeah.
Who did that movie?
I think so, yeah. So we come down to the epic championship round between...
Hey, I got a real quick honorable mention, though.
Yeah.
I guarantee Beverly Hills Cop
Yeah, it's a good point.
would have been a fucking a blockbuster, because that would have been
Steven Sondheim. No, that's not right. That's not his name, is it?
Sonnenberg.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what I'm talking about.
Soderbergh?
Steven Soderbergh. That sounds right. Steven Sondheim was a poet? Was a writer?
I thought he was a Broadway.
Maybe that's right. Boy, we are an uncultured bunch of fucks.
But anyhow, that dude, I even think Michael Bay was some shit to do with that. Yeah.
I think it's great, and I think it did come out in the summertime. It wasn't.
I know it did, because their songs coincided with the Cardinals.
Yeah. The heat is on, and
and shake down, right down.
But I think the only reason it probably wasn't as big a hit as it could have been because it was rated R.
Yeah,
because every third word was fuck, and I remember watching it with my grandma.
Damn it, Eddie.
My grandmother was she was ahead of her time. And it didn't bother her at all that she mentioned, she's like, wow, they say that word a lot. I was like, yep, but they sure do. She's not uncomfortable. I'm not uncomfortable. It's all good.
So the national championship.
So we're back down to Batman and Back to the Future.
Wow.
Now this is tough because my criteria for the last round, which was which one made the most impact in my summer of 80 whatever, and both of them had big impacts. So I'm gonna go first. I think I'm gonna go first. Is it okay if I go first?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to just go with which movie I prefer, and it's a tight race. But I got to go with Back to the Future. I love time travel movies and also just everything that we've already said about Back to the Future. It's a great movie. It's and even 2 and 3, a lot of people give 3 a lot of shit.
I like 3.
But 3's good. The fucking cowboy stuff. It's and the fact that they were able to make that shit happen. They did the 2 and 3 at the same time, and they were able to make that shit happen all together and kept everybody on the edge of their seat. And honestly, I think they could do another. It wouldn't be with Marty, but it would have to be with a new actor or
Why
Doc.
couldn't they do it with Marty?
Well, because he's a little shaky. He's having some hard
Put some
times.
fun gloves on.
Yeah, but I think that they left it to the point where it's like, hey man, there's a train now that travels through time. They could easily pick that shit up again with Doc Brown and I
pick up with Jules and Vern.
Yeah, but obviously Batman.
Marty.
There you go. Jules and Vern are now. There you go. We just wrote a fucking movie for these assholes. But Batman obviously has.
Was that the name of the kids?
Yeah,
the kids that he had with what's her name from Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Was she one in Groundhog Day?
No,
that wasn't her.
That was Andy McDowell.
Yeah, who was the one? Who was the one in Back to the Future?
It's Ted Danson's wife, but
and fuck.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Mary Lou Henner.
No.
She was in Parenthood.
Mary Steenburgen.
It was a Mary something.
Yeah.
That's right. Mary Steenburgen. That's right. Bergen?
Bergen.
220,
221, whatever it takes.
All right.
And,
did we pick one? What did you?
I picked Back to the Future.
Okay. Yep. Joe.
I'm gonna go with Back to the Future as well. Wow. Because again, of the two that are there, that's who I like.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because you're out of whammies.
Yeah.
No, and I would have voted Back to the Future. It's got more of the fun adventure. Back in time, 50s era.
Back in time.
Great soundtrack. Was Huey Lewis? I know I loved all of his music in the 80s, but I don't think he was that big until Back to the Future. I mean, he had the album 4 or Sports. Sports came out before the movie came out, and Back in Time was not on it.
Right.
And I don't think it was ever released on an album. I think it was just released on the soundtrack to Back to the Future. But I think that put Huey Lewis in the
Power
news.
of Love.
Yeah, that was on.
That was on Sports.
On Sports. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't. I think look, man, if a movie launches a music or not launches it, but
brought him into more mainstream.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know who Huey Lewis was until that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it changed styles. I mean, the clothes that people wore, the clothes the kids wore, the suspenders on the Bugle Boy jeans, and there's a lot of things there. I think that and that it holds up. That we were talking about it in when the Cubs won the World Series, that it was always it wasn't close, but they were they're predicted in Back to the Future 2 to win it in what was it, 2015?
Yeah.
Right.
It didn't quite make it, but they were a good team in 2015.
I forgot about that.
But but that we're still talking about it. And
is that when the Mets beat them?
That could be. I don't know. I have to look
the Mets beat them in 2015,
and then the Mets lost in 4 games
to the Sox.
No, to the Royals.
To the Royals.
Yeah,
that's
Royals.
right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How could we forget the cancer? But yeah, so I mean, the fact that we're talking about it, shoes were released, self-tying shoes were released, 30 years after the movie came out. It's still part of the pop culture, and everybody's, and kids have seen it. I mean, it's a movie. It's there's not how many of these on this list can we say that our kids have definitely seen? Star Wars is on there, right? But I don't know that my kids have seen the original Batman,
or Terminator 2.
So definitely Back to the Future.
Nice.
We should do something about Back to the Future, or maybe time travel movies. I don't know if there's enough of them.
We should get Michael J. Fox on the podcast. That's what
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd be up for
Or
it.
Huey Lewis.
There you go.
Huey Lewis is retired from recording and touring. I think he has ear problems because of just being a rock star for so damn long that he can't hear.
I believe that.
And it's a shame because
Brian Johnson has the same problem.
Yeah, and I think now that you see all these performers and they have these fancy earwigs in that protect their ears a little bit better, but it's a shame that a lot of these great musicians that have still got a lot of gas left in the tank can't get out there and do what do what they do. Whatever. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe some technology will come through and Huey will be able to make it back on the
Huey Huffendick.
Well, that was a good episode. I enjoy the Sweet 16s, and I always like talking about movies in the 80s.
I think that let us know what you think. I think that we tend to. I mean, we enjoy it because we get to sit here and talk about it and beat it to death. I don't know how great it is for listening. Give us some feedback. Tell us if you want us to.
I'm pretty sure it's great.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain it is, but I just want to make sure if anybody has any dissenting opinions.
Send in your
on that.
vote of what you think was the best summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
Did we forget?
And I'm sure we forgot
obvious
some.
choice?
While we were talking about it, we forgot Superman and Beverly Hills Cop and I'm sure there's countless others, and maybe Gone with the Wind was a summer movie. I mean,
could have been.
Maybe The Wizard of Oz was too, but we didn't go back that far. I don't remember that, but maybe there's been one recently. What are the ones coming out this summer? I mean, we have we got
Avengers. Avengers Endgame is the big one.
That's going to be huge.
Shazam comes out soon. I don't know if that counts as summer.
And isn't that basically Superman?
No, it's a kid.
Kind of. It's a kid who turns into a superhero.
Right. But it's Chuck Bartowski from Chuck.
Right.
But he has all the powers.
I mean,
of
he can fly and he's strong and all that stuff. It's the character is basically.
He's 13 years old in a superhero's body.
Right.
Which is what makes it entertaining.
Yeah.
It's big.
Ensues.
We've got another Spider-Man movie coming out this summer.
Yeah, I saw that.
I feel like there's another big one coming out.
Top Gun's coming out this summer again.
Don't we have like Aladdin or something? The live action.
Oh yeah, with Will Smith. I don't know about that. That might be.
That's a dud.
Yeah, I mean, look, how do you fuck with Robin Williams?
I know.
And how do you take an animated movie that was great and turn it?
Never seen it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a great movie. And I mean, it's like
never seen Lion King.
Yeah,
that's coming out too, right? I don't know about this year, but they're making a live one of that.
Just stop, people. There's no original ideas out there. We get it. I mean, there's got to be something. I mean, Shazam's a great idea, but is it original? I mean, Shazam's been around forever.
Well, there hasn't been a movie of it.
There hasn't been a movie.
Greatest American Hero.
I would watch that.
But William Cat has to be in it.
Who was the gal
in Greatest American Hero? Shit, I don't know.
Judith Light.
Could have been. Who knows?
Like Connie something.
Connie Selica. Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Toyota Celica.
This Toyota Celica was
Supra
named
Celica.
after her. Yeah.
Something all right, let's wrap this up.
We done already?
I guess so. I mean,
it's only been an hour and a half, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Real quickly, how can they tell us what their favorite summer blockbuster was?
Well, they could send us an email, loadthispodcast@gmail.com, or they could drop us a little note on the social media stuff at Load This. Did I say? I get this fucked up. At Load This Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Loadthispodcast@gmail.com is our email address. Or you could send us a message on the YouTubes too, or a comment on this post on YouTube.
They could call our landline at 618. No,
right?
Probably not that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna somehow at some point soon send out a Skype invitation so people can actually
we're gonna
Skype into
explore
the show.
that. I don't know. I mean, I wonder if that's even been done. See, I mean, so look, I mean, radio shows, call-in shows. I mean, those have been around for years and years and years. I don't know that any podcast, that has to have been done, right? We can't be that revolutionary. That any podcast has ever published like, hey, fuckers, we're recording. If you want to get in touch with us and be on the next show, click this button to Skype us.
I'm just not sure I want to send that out. I don't want to be getting Skype calls at 3:00 in the morning. Here in the studio.
Well, I wonder if you could, if you shut your shit down and say, I'm not accepting calls.
Shut it down now.
Yeah. We're tech savvy people. We can figure this shit out to say, you know what, we're just going to reject every asshole that tries to call us when we're not on the air.
But we definitely want to soon invite some listeners to get on the show.
Yeah.
So we can set that up live and have you on here, and we're looking forward to that. So
absolutely.
We are ready to take it. We're just not sure how we want to implement it.
But anyway. We don't know what hole we want to put it in yet.
That's right. We're ready to take it. We're just not sure how.
But don't know if we got enough lube.
So, as usual, fuck the Cubs. Until next time, I'm Jared.
I'm Ryan.
This is Joe.
And get a load of this.
The Leonardo DiCaprio, there's a good example. That someone who's, wants to be Mr. Do-Gooder and wants to save the planet, but yet he's, fucking driving a yacht around that's, using diesel fuel or whatever the fuck.
I think he drives a Prius, though, day to day.
No, he has yachts. I'm talking about like
I know.
boats, motor yachts. So, and then flying around in private jets and all this shit. It's like, okay. You can't say the things that you say and then do the things that you do.
Yeah,
and
I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that. I think his idea of being green is when I can or when it's feasible for me to be, I will be.
Right.
But other than that, Yeah.
Right.
Motherfucker, I got a jet. I need to get to my islands.
Right. That the freshman senator, who's our congressperson, whose name shall not be spoken, that they were giving her shit about. She wants the Green New Deal thing, but yet her campaign used a bunch of private cars as opposed to Ubers or whatever the hell it was. They're like, "Oh, you're hypocritical," and she's like, "Oh, I'm just living in the world. I got to get around." It's like, well, but yeah, fine. Yes, you're living in the world, and yes, but my point is, you can't go out there and make these blanket statements about how everybody should just do their part when you're not doing yours.
Right. But I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio says those things.
Oh, he does.
You'd have to show me.
Yeah. I mean,
I would have to see it. I would actually physically have to see it because words coming out of his mouth.
No, I think he said something at the Oscars a few years back that was what started it. That he was talking about this, save the earth, the global warming thing, and then that's when it started. That people started to say, like, dude, there was pictures of you on a yacht with like 30 half-naked women.
Right.
What the hell are you doing? It's self-awareness, I guess, is more of it. Is if you're gonna say these things, fine, say these things. Embrace these things. Al Gore's another one. Mr. Green, Mr. Conserve, and
we're gonna get political. My pants are coming down,
and save the planet. But then they did a study on, or not a study, but they did. People started looking at his homes that he has and how much of a carbon footprint they have, but he buys carbon offset, so that makes it better. It's like, well, no, he's still burning fossil fuels. He's still fucking using energy.
Well, unless he lived in a fucking tent in the middle of nowhere, everybody would have something to say about it.
Which is why it's flawed. Anyway, we're not going down that road. We're not going to do that. Not gonna do it.
I know that you were saying that you don't think that Trout should have got what he got, and
I don't know.
I say to that, if your boss came up to you and just started throwing money at you, you're going to tell him, no, you keep that. You save that for other days.
Well, it depends on that number. Look, I mean, I don't know. It's easy for us to say because
what if they came to you and said, I'm going to pay you
a $400 million contract.
No, I totally agree. But there is a chance that your boss could come to you and say, you're going to be the highest paid in this department by far.
I would take that.
Sure. Well, it's just,
but even to be that is not enough money to set my family for generations for life.
Totally agree. But you're basically, if you agree that he's being overpaid for something, if they came and did that to you and you accepted it, you're being overpaid for the same job as well.
I'm not following.
It's on a smaller scale.
Yeah, but because of that, I think the argument.
Well, the shock value is gone. Well, I agree with you on that.
But it's what I'm saying is that there's only so much money that a human being can spend. I mean, within
tell Amazon that.
Well, right. Within reason, right?
Sounds like socialist to me.
Well, the point is that it's not socialism. I'm not saying the government should go in and take their money and give it to other people. I'm saying that just out of if the only point I was making earlier was that if someone wants to stand on their pedestal and espouse these, well, we need to do better and we need to take care of people, well, maybe you should figure out what number it is that you need to really take care of you and your kids and your kids' kids and maybe even their kids' and
then they're all going to lay around and just get a check.
Then maybe not. But I'd say that.
Yeah, but what do you want? If he doesn't get it, then the owner keeps it.
Well, then the owner should take that same logical step.
But the owner.
Capitalism, Ryan.
But maybe the owner's not standing up espousing any beliefs about taking care of everybody. If you just want to come out and say, what's that guy that got in trouble, the racist NBA owner that was a jackoff?
Big Bird.
Clippers guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, so he's an asshole, right?
Oscar the Grouch.
Everybody, maybe Oscar, but no, whatever that guy's name was, I mean, maybe he doesn't have a problem saying, you know what? Yeah, fuck everybody. If you're going up there and saying, fuck everybody, this is my money, fuck you, right? Fine. Keep every fucking nickel.
Agree with that.
Keep every nickel you want. But if you want to stand up and say like, well, yeah, I really support, taking care of this well, then maybe you shouldn't be keeping all that money. Maybe you should be setting the example.
Right.
How much money do you need? I'm not saying the government should mandate it. I'm not saying that anybody should be forced to do it. But if you're going to stand up there and try to guilt everybody else into giving some of their money, then you should start by giving a big fucking chunk of your money.
Yeah.
So
sure, but I don't. Is that what Mike Trout's doing?
No. We're off. I mean, we're kind of on Mike Trout because he makes a lot of money. I'm just saying, in general, overpaid actors, athletes, CEOs, you name it, philanthropists, whatever. Philanthropist, that's the wrong word.
Philanthropist,
just someone that's giving money away. I used the wrong word.
That's exactly.
I used the wrong word. Yeah,
there's too many guilt trips going on out there.
George Clooney gave a bunch of money.
For?
Asshole, I think.
No, it's not philanthropist clearly, but what the fuck word was I looking for?
Or...
Nah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just
George Clooney gave a bunch of money away, $1 million each in a suitcase at dinner. Had like a bunch of people to his house, and then after dinner he had a suitcase in front of every one of them.
Really?
And gave every one of them.
Did he
give everyone $1 million?
Were they rich people?
I don't know. I'm sure they weren't homeless people.
You get a suitcase.
But yeah, had a suitcase with $1 million.
Well, I think if they were
in
homeless people, that would mean a hell of a lot more.
Wow, you can't give a homeless person
$1
million.
Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman?
Yeah, I think it was that fucking silver-haired silver-haired helmet motherfucker.
I don't agree with giving money to give a man a fish thing, teach him to fish. But why is he giving $1 million to? Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
Fuck George Clooney. Fuck him and his magnificent salt and pepper hair.
You just said maybe you should not take everything and give it back, and now you're saying fuck Clooney for giving $1 million suitcases.
I don't know who he's giving it to though. That's. I mean,
he's not keeping it.
I'm taking a leap of faith that he wasn't giving it to the right people.
I guess RYN wasn't at that dinner.
Yeah,
sounds like it.
No, I'm just saying that I would be deserving. I would think that it would be people that have legitimate hard times.
And, well, I don't know. Or maybe he was giving it to heads of charities.
Maybe then that's fine. Then George Clooney's rock
Let's
star.
go with that.
Let's go with that. I like George Clooney's awesome. Then let's say this: let's say he invited a widow, recently widowed woman with 3 children, all of high school age, and her husband just passed away, and the
on the ride there,
and the company that he worked for fucked him out of his pension, and she really has nothing, and she spent her whole life staying home taking care of these children. That's a deserving person. That's a deserving person because by no fault of her own
was she put in that
situation.
Sure.
And the dad, no fault of his own. The company fucked him. Maybe he should have seen the writing on the wall, but let's assume he didn't. This is all hypothetical bullshit. Right. Anyway, we can make it up as we go along.
He worked for Enron.
Man, George Clooney's a good guy.
Yeah, then George Clooney's a fucking rock star. If he gave money to that widowed
and maybe
mother.
if she's pretty enough, maybe she moves in.
Yeah, right.
I'll raise your kids. Yeah. Take care of your vagina.
Now he's got that one super smart chick that he's married to.
Super hot.
Super smart, super hot.
Jewish lawyer.
That's not fair either. There's a fair word again.
Yeah, here comes fair.
It's not fair that you could be that hot and fucking ridiculously smart and then marry George Clooney. It's like, what? Come on, stop it. Stop. Give something to somebody else, for Christ's sake.
Let somebody else get some food in their mouth.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick this off.
All right.